Hi everyone, today I'm testing out this 16 color set of Pentel oil pastels. It's equivalent in size to the 16 color Crayola set that I've been using lately. Some people love them for their bright colors and low cost, while others dislike their waxy texture and smell. So are they worth it? Today, for contrast, I'm going to be comparing them to my Crayola pastels. I'll put the Pentel pastels to the test, swatching, blending, layering, lifting, and even a mini sketch demo. There are larger sets of Pentel pastels, but because I want to test them out before I commit to them, I'm using a set of just 16. So I thought it would be fun to line them up side by side with my often used Crayolas to compare like for like. Differences I noticed. Pentel has a peachy pink, Crayola doesn't. Crayola has 2 reds, Pentel just 1. And Pentel has a yellow ochre, which Crayola does not. Pentel has 2 browns, which includes a burnt sienna, which Crayola does not. Pentel includes a grey, and Crayola gives us more purples. Now let's do some swatching. I suggest printing out some squares like these on cardstock so you can do swatch tests whenever you get new materials. Swatch tests are essential. That's where you'll have a good idea as to what to expect. My first impressions on picking one up is that it feels quite firm. Some users mentioned a waxy or petroleum-like smell. Personally, I noticed it when the box was brand new, but it faded over time. In fact, Crayolas also have a scent, but slightly different and perhaps not as strong. You have to go up really close to smell them. If the smell bothers you, airing them out by a window helps. I find swatches are really useful to get a real feel for what colour you're going to get on paper. Once I have them all down, I'll get a good idea as to what colours I have and as to what colours I may need to mix. In this section, we're going to see how the Pentel colours compare to the Crayola colours on paper. First, I'll swatch out the Crayola. Most of the colours are very similar. The mid-tone blue, the second darkest Pentel, matches up nicely with the dark blue of the Crayola. The big question for me right now is, can the Pentels blend as easily as the Crayola? So here are the colours that we don't find in the Crayola set. We've got the grey, the peachy pink, the burnt sienna, and a yellow ochre. These colours are more earthy tones, and definitely the browns and the pinks are more skin-coloured tones. Maybe in another video I'll be testing these out. Now, it's always a good idea to test your colours on different kinds of paper and different coloured papers. Today, we're going to use black paper and see if there's a difference in the results we get between Pentel and Crayola. Let's lay down some colours and compare, starting with the white. I couldn't resist throwing in another brand here, and this is my Montmartre White Pastel. It's rich and creamy. I only purchased an extra set of whites in the Montmartre, but they may prove to be a budget pastel worth trying. Now we'll move on to the red Pentel first, and then the Crayola. So already the Pentel does not show up as well. But look at the Crayola red, it does a much better job. The Pentel red feels harder and waxier and much duller. Both the matching blues show up really well. You can't see it on camera, but the blue Pentel has a slightly turquoisey tone, but it lays down beautifully. Next, the bright pink. For me, both pinks on black paper lack some vibrancy, even though the Crayola one goes on much more smoothly. Even the Pentel yellow on black paper is a little weaker and less vibrant. I find that the orange Pentel goes on a lot smoother than the others, although it still lacks that rich, thick creaminess. Clearly, the pigments used contribute to the softness or hardness of the pastel stick. Okay, now I have a layer down, let's try some blending with my fingers. blending with the Pentel takes a lot more effort. Let's try my blending stump. It works, but still more effort than what I'm used to. Let's give it another layer. I'm going to really put Pentel through its paces. I'm going to do a few layers. Okay, second layer of orange done. Now let's add some red. And then I'm going to scrape it. Toothpick ready, let's make some patterns. Even though the layers aren't as thick and as rich, we're still getting some really decent results. The Pentel is holding its own. Now let's try some transitions. A bit of yellow, and then red, and then we'll use the yellow to blend the two together. Right now, I'm not sure if it's just me because I'm not used to this brand, or in general, certain colors don't blend well together. No, I'm not liking how this is working out. I don't like the feel. I'm going to try with my fingers. It's not blending too well at all. Okay, there we go. Not as smooth as I would like it. It's not a bad effect. It looks like a red hot sun, but not really the smoothness I was looking for. Now let's try some cross hatching. Because Pentels are small and they have a nice edge, at least when they're new, I should get nice lines. First, let's start with the dark blue and then the light blue, alternating them each time. Okay, so I may have got a little carried away there, but you know what? I had fun just scribbling lines with the Pentels. The fact that the pastels are a little bit hard actually does give me more control. Let's try some lifting and erasing for our next technique. Now remember, pastels never lift completely. There's always some residue left, but you can lighten them with erasers. The darker the pigment, the more dramatic the effect. Remember always to clean your eraser and your pastel sticks on a piece of paper before you start working on your piece. I've had some nice results with Crayola and erasers, and you know what? The Pentels work just as well. The more pigment you have on your paper, the more dramatic the effect. Now our last test will be to see how well Pentels blend with oil. Just a little oil on my brush and then we'll blend the pigment out on the paper. Basically, it's like painting with thinned out oil paint. Okay, I have no problem with how it blends. Now we've had a chance to play around with these new Pentel oil pastels. Let's do a little demo. I decided to do a set of small garden-themed sketches to really test how these Pentel pastels perform. Instead of just swatches, I wanted to see how the colours behave in little drawings, apples, pears, watering cans, tools, etc. So I could explore blending, layering and mixing and see how they work when I draw with them. I began with some cross-hatching on the watering can to test out how the layers build up. The harder texture of the Pentels actually worked in my favour here. It let me control the small strokes and edges without the pastel getting too smudgy. Drawing number 2. For the second sketch, I drew another watering can, this time with pink flowers. So I didn't get a really vibrant pink, but I think this little drawing works. Drawing number 3, light blue watering can. Okay, there's a theme going on here, but I assure you they'll not all be watering cans. For me, this blue watering can actually did have a watery feel. Drawing number 4. Then came the pear, perfect for testing yellows and oranges, with just a touch of red to warm it up. The blending was a little work, but the colors layered nicely and gave the fruit a soft, natural glow. Five, the red apple. For the apple, I needed several layers to get a rich red. I used yellow and pink and orange to build up depth, then applied more red pastel on top. All these colors and layers helps to make the apple pop. I'm placing a green leaf here just to balance out the page. Simple, but it showed how layering green with a little yellow and white gives a nice fresh tone. I created a few nice dark veins on the leaf with the help of a dark green colored pencil. Now here's the real challenge, creating a purple with this Pentel set, because it doesn't include one. I first started with the pink, then the red. I then layered the lighter blue, a little more red, and the mid-range blue from this set. Then blended them all together with white, giving me a nice light purplish tone. Drawing 8, a set of garden tools. I wanted to play around mainly with the blues and greys, so these garden tools came to fruition. Some spades and a fork with handles. My tortillon was really useful for getting into those small sections. I liked how the harder texture of the Pentels made it easier to work in fine details with those tiny areas. My slate blue pencil came in really handy to create some definition along the edges of the tools, especially the prongs on the garden fork. Drawing number 9, the wheelbarrow. The final drawing in my demo. I used grey for the interior, but honestly it felt a little dull. Personally, I prefer to use a kind of a purpley, cooler tone for the shadows instead of plain grey. Perhaps with a larger set of Pentel pastels, I'll get a greater range. I find that with my limited set of Pentels, I have to add a little yellow or orange to the red to make an acceptable colour, at least for me. Oh, as I fiddle with these small details, before I forget, what I really love about the Pentels is that they don't create as much residue as the Crayola, which is a big plus for me. Doing these small sketches, I think, won me over. For a beginner set of pastels, I think they're worth a try, and the price is right. Final thoughts. Despite the harder feel of these sticks, the results weren't bad at all. The colours are rich, though with this 16-pack set limited in range, especially without purples, which I find essential. Mixing helps, but it doesn't always give you the exact shade you want. Still, it's doable with some effort. I haven't tested the skin tones or earthy shades that much in this test, but stay tuned. I'll be experimenting with those in a future video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Wishing you much love. Peace.